Avengers Endgame was filled with tons of epic moments, some of which were massive payoffs that were set up throughout storylines in the MCU. One of the most talked about moments that happens during the third act of the film is the big A-Force girl power moment that has several major female heroes in the MCU team up to protect Peter Parker and get the Infinity Gauntlet to Scott Lang and Hope, who are trying to get it through the quantum vortex. But that scene has also had a lot of detractors. A lot of people have criticized it and asked why it's actually in the film, because they thought that it was forced. Well, now the screenwriters and directors behind Avengers Endgame have officially commented on the scene and why they thought it was necessary to be included. Screenwriters Markus and McFeely said, quote, "Marvel fans increasingly with every movie have gotten these great female characters. Some people can call it pandering, but it's also like, we have tons of shots of all men, why not have a shot of all women, and they're so cool. It just seemed like, let's celebrate it. I remember the day that we shot it, every woman on the crew and in the offices came down and were sort of milling about behind the cameras. That was perhaps the most moving part of it, for me, how important it was for everybody to see it. In the shot we can of course see Captain Marvel, the Wasp, Gamora, Mantis, Pepper Potts' rescue, Okoye, and more. Marvel has actually released some official stills of the shot along with a behind the scenes image when they were filming it. Now, as for the directors, Anthony Russo said, "Looking back on the entire road that the MCU has traveled, it just struck us how many amazing female characters have entered the landscape. I think it was really for us a moment of celebration and acknowledgement of the intensity and empowerment in that." So obviously it looks like this scene was included because throughout the MCU's story we have so many amazing female heroes that have been introduced thus far, and since Endgame was kind of a celebration of everything the MCU has done across these 22 films, they felt that it was necessary to include a scene celebrating and empowering the women of the MCU that we have introduced. And it was also a pretty cool moment because it was something that Tessa Thompson had actually tried talking to Kevin Feige about earlier when she went up with several other actresses in the MCU like Elizabeth Olsen and Brie Larson and basically asked him if they could do an A-Force movie or an A-Force type thing in the MCU. So here's hoping that that scene was actually an indication of things to come in the future of the MCU. But post your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you guys think of this whole A-Force team-up moment in Avengers Endgame? And do you think it was necessary for the film to celebrate all the female heroes that we have as part of the MCU? For more updates on Avengers Endgame and everything Marvel and pop culture, be sure to subscribe to HN Entertainment.